Up, down, forwards, and backwards. All right. And can you introduce yourself? You happened to walk in right when I was talking on the air, so I've got to get all the information here. Go ahead.
Good morning. My name is Ricky Reddish. I'm the commander for the American Legion Post 529, and I appreciate y'all having me this morning, Butch.
Okay.
Butch and Bob.
Well, Ricky, we do appreciate you being here this morning. We're minus the Bob. Bob is on vacation, but Ricky, we do appreciate you coming in this morning. What's on your mind for the American Legion?
Okay, this morning I'd like to talk to the veteran. My goal now is to have a membership drive for the American Legion. A lot of our veterans don't know the program that the American Legion helped veterans get. Okay. So I just want to invite all the veterans out this Saturday from 10 to 2 at Emory Chapel United Methodist Church at 311 North Hickory Street, where we will have a membership drive. I have the adjutant. With the adjutant, a lot of folks don't understand what that means. In other words, that's the secretary. That's a duty of a secretary. He's the adjutant for the 8th District in the American Legion. And he's coming down from Brunswick and to speak with us to let us know some of the changes, some of the things that a veteran can get, and a way of how to get programs and benefits and things that they didn't not aware of. So I'm just trying to invite all the veterans out, male and female, come out and.
Hi, good morning. Showers.
We're going to have hot dogs, hamburgers, and we're going to give you a little something to eat. And we're going to try to give you some good information for all the veterans. So I hope that they will come out and endure what we have to offer. And this is the first time that we have done this. I just recently became the commander for the American Legion Post 529. Here in Jessup, we have 2 American Legion posts. We have the Post 311 as well. So we just want everybody to just come out and get the information, have a little food and drink and fellowship with the veterans.
And this is for all veterans, right?
Correct.
Veteran, whether it's a veteran who just served domestically or overseas, right?
It's any veteran that have served more than 180 days in the Army, other Navy, other Coast Guard, other Marines,
Air Force.
Either all 5 branches. It doesn't matter. Okay. As long as they serve active duty for at least 180 days, in other words, that's 6 months, they're eligible to be a American Legion. They're eligible to be.
Okay. And you say it's going to be this Saturday at what time?
It's going to be this Saturday, the 24th of June, at from 10 to 2.
10 to 2.
10 to 2.
And the name of the church is going to be held at once again?
The name of the church is Emory Chapel United Methodist Church. It's located right behind the post office.
Okay, behind the post office.
Yeah, the big white church right behind the post office on Pine Street.
Okay, on Pine Street. Okay. And so all the veterans are invited. So if you're not a member of the American Legion, if you're a veteran and like to find out more about it, just go up to Emory Chapel Methodist Church, located behind the post office on Pine Street, this Saturday from 10 to 2 and find out all about it.
Correct. And we hope to come, a lot of veterans will come out, and like I said, fellowship, whether you are a member or not. We just want you to come out and fellowship with us.
Okay, are there going to be any type of, it's 10 to 2, so a meal served or anything like that?
Yes, it's going to be, we're going to have hot dogs, hamburgers, and chips or something to drink, and just fellowship among ourselves, and like I say, get good information from the 8th District adjutant from the 8th District of the American Legion, which is the district that we are in.
The district that you're in. How long have you been a member, Ricky?
I've been a member of the American Legion now almost 22 years.
22 years.
Yeah,
wow.
I did 22 years in the Army as well.
So you did 22 years in the Army?
I did.
So were you stationed all over the place?
I've been a little bit everywhere. Korea, Egypt,
wow.
Kentucky, Missouri, Georgia, Oklahoma.
That must have been quite an experience, being in the Army for 22 years and being all those different posts throughout the world.
It is, and it's enjoyable. I wouldn't trade nothing in the world for it because it was a good experience that I had. I went there when I was 17 years old, and
wow.
Right after high school, I graduated 1 week. The following week, I was gone.
Now, what year did you graduate?
I graduated in 1874.
In 1874? You didn't look that old.
No, 1974.
You're preserved pretty good there.
Yeah, that was the case. Yeah,
1974. So you were just a couple of years after me then. I graduated in 72 from Wayne County High School. So you were right behind me there.
Yeah. And I went, like I said, I went in straight out of high school. Like I said, I graduated 1 week. Following week, I was in the Army.
Okay.
And it was 3 of us who went in together. We went on what we call the buddy system.
You went in the buddy system. Were y'all able to stay together most of the time?
We stayed together up until we had about 10 years in together.
10 years together. All right. Now, how does one who gets right out of high school, they got that high school diploma, you're in the Army for 22 years, how do you move up in rank with something like that?
Well, the basic thing that when you move up in rank, like, now myself, I've been in a uniform from Boy Scout, Club Scout, ROTC, and then the Army, and down American Legion. But the way you move up in the military is that they have different levels that you have to perform duties. In other words, you go before a panel to move up. And the panel will ask you several questions. In other words, like a drill, they would ask you several questions. And that's called the board. That's the E5 board that you have to go through. And they ask you certain questions. That's going to be E5 is a sergeant.
E5 is a sergeant. What you end up with after all those years?
After years, I wind up being a sergeant first class.
Sergeant first class.
Right. And that's a step. You go from E1 to E9.
Okay. So you were the workers in the Army. You were a sergeant.
I was mostly a supervisor as I went in. As time as it progressed, that I made steps to promotion wise. I started out a private, then I went to E3. That's a PFC, and then I became a specialist, and then an E5, which is a sergeant. Then I became a staff sergeant.
Okay.
And then I became a supervisor. Then, like I say, you move up. And then also I was a DI.
And a DI is?
I was a DI drill instructor for
drill.
3 years.
Oh, you were one of them drill instructors.
Yeah, man.
Now, when you were, officer and gentleman, you see Lou Gossett on there. Were you like him? Were you like Lou and officer and gentleman?
Every time I see that movie, it chokes me up because it's some of the things that we done, similar to what the movie was about, and I enjoy that because to watch a product come in and watch that product go back out. But yes, I enjoyed those 3 years that I did as a DI, but I wasn't quite like Lou. I wasn't quite like Lou Gossett Jr., but I had to instill in the soldiers the things that they needed to learn so that they could be able to protect themselves, and not only that, for us in the United States. Defend the country, the foreign and domestic. I got to be able to learn the task at hand. But I wasn't quite like him, though.
But you do. I guess you do, as a drill instructor, do take that pride in taking that raw recruit that just signed up, just got his head shaved and all that kind of stuff, and gets out there and he's raw. And how long does it take a drill instructor? Is it a 6-month event that they go through, that you work with them to get them a year? How long does it take from a recruit to get there, to get out of that drill instruction when you're working with them?
When the soldiers first, once they pass the aptitude test, they send them what we call basic training. And once they come to basic training, it's an 8-week program.
8-week program.
Yeah, every 8 weeks, I think I trained over about 1,000 soldiers in those 3 years.
So every 8 weeks.
Every 8 weeks, I got.
So in 2 months, you changed them from a raw pile of clay into a soldier. Is that right?
That's it.
How do you do that in just 8 weeks?
Well, the thing is, we have a guideline that we have to follow. That in order to do that, we treat the soldiers all the courtesy, being the honor, integrity, and then we also learn them how to fire a rifle and all that. You do it's a cram course.
It's definitely a cram course.
It's like being in college. Every 8 weeks we got someone that come in and the new soldiers come in every 8 weeks we turn them over.
All right. Well, it took Gomer Pyle several seasons before he finally got out. He got out of that.
It's kind of wild though, but like you said, how can you do that? And the parents as well, when they come to graduation after 8 weeks, they are so amazed to see the change in their son.
8 weeks,
By the time he came and to the time he graduated. And like I said, it's every 8 weeks we get new soldiers. And I think every what we call platoon is like a number 1, 2, 3, and 4.
Right.
You got 4 platoons, and each one of those platoons get 264 soldiers.
Mm-hmm.
So that means every one of us, every 8 weeks, we get 200 some soldiers.
Now, did you ever have a group like the group that was on strikes with Bill Murray?
Well, you got some hard head. You got some hard head. With the thing is about being a DI is that you have a good drill sergeant, and you have the ones that don't take no mess, and just so the soldiers will have some type of fear. In other words, to learn so they can get, to get what they need to get. So
they got to have a fear of the drill instructor. Were you one of those type of guy that got up in the guy's face and say, "You maggot, you ain't worth the doggone"?
No, not quite like that.
Not
quite like that. But because there's certain guidelines that we have to follow in order to.
But you did that for 3 years, right?
I did that for 3 years.
3 years, every 8 weeks, you got a new set.
I got a new set of soldiers.
And once they graduated after 8 weeks, what did they move on to?
Okay, once they graduate from us, we got what we call AIT. That's the individual training. What they sign up to be. Like myself, I'm a medic. I signed up to be a medic, and the medics go to Fort Sam Houston. That's where all anything you want to learn about medicine is where we soldiers go. So that's what's called individual training. That's whatever you sign up to be a truck driver, to be a mechanic, to be a specialist in the medical field, or to just be whatever you want, whatever the MOS, because that's what it's called, the MOS. And
what is MO? I know y'all got initials for everything in the service.
Yeah, that's MOS is what his job occupation is. The specialist.
Okay. Yeah.
It's a job that he signed up to do. And the basic thing, which is that when you do that, it's 150 programs that the Army offers.
So, I know that is amazing. A lot of folks might not realize that. The fact there's more than just going out there and training to shoot a gun. I mean, there's so much that has to be done.
Yeah.
You can specialize, as you said, in just about anything.
Yeah. The military have over 150 careers that you can choose from. And as long as it's also based on your test scores as well.
Right.
And in order to qualify for those different type of jobs, like I say, they have over 150 career opportunity. And I really think every young man should go in the military. I really do, and the world will be a better place right now.
Yeah, so you're saying maybe we should go back
at least
years ago. Some countries that have that where you have to go in for a year or two into the military to serve your country. Then you can go stay in the military. You can go to college after that. So you're thinking a 2-year tour in the military to get some basic skills there and to go on from there. Either stay in the military or go to college or start a career.
Yeah, you have that option, because, you can stay to retire like I did, And the thing is, I enjoy what I was doing, and you meet people from all around the world.
Yeah.
And you live next door, and you train together, and that man behind me, the man beside me, he's got my back, and I got his back. And you could create a brotherhood, sisterhood, and all y'all become one family. And the thing is, like I said, you can choose any job that you like to have. We like police. We have military police.
Mm-hmm.
You whatever special that you want to train in, the Army has it. The Air Force have it. The Navy, Marine, Coast Guard. All of them have occupation that you can choose to go to.
Okay. You still get that sense of just chills or American pride when you see that American flag raised and the music's playing.
It runs down, and every time I see soldiers falling by the wayside and they gave all they had to give, that thing choked me up because it's another brotherhood that I've lost.
Mm-hmm.
And when I see the flag, it's the same thing. At certain time of the year, especially Memorial Day weekend. Memorial Day weekend, it chokes me up real bad because I lost one of my best friends.
Oh, you did?
And
where was that at?
I was at Fort Leonard Wood, Missouri. Him and I was both DI.
Oh, okay.
And him and a soldier lost their lives together.
Oh.
They got a grenade went off in between the both of them.
An accident that happened.
An accident that occurred and it killed. And every time Memorial Day would come around, it really bothered me a little bit because it makes me think about him
Okay.
You know, more, like I say, him and I was so close, and both of us did what we enjoyed.
Now, we have Ricky Reddish in here with us this morning talking about an event coming up this Saturday for the American Legion, but I enjoy talking to you right now because of 22 years in the service. You said you were stationed in Korea for a while. Is that right?
Correct.
Okay. Now, there's a lot going on right now with the North Korea, you know, basically rattling their sabers and basically their missiles. What's your thoughts and feelings, you know, when you were over there? How was it over there when you got that one country divided into two totally different type of countries?
Well, one thing about this Korea, you know, it's a 1 year tour. Most of us go over there for 1 year, and then you have like a 2 year, and then you can get extended. But to incorporate what you just said, you know, you got the South and you got the North. And the first time I went there 3 times. In 3 years, I had a 3 year tour in Korea. And I went there 3 times. And the thing is that you have the South, you have the North, and you got the little wall in between us.
Right.
And it's like, it's hard to determine who's who sometimes because
Right.
they're so similar.
Right. Well, it's the same thing in Vietnam.
Yeah.
When our guys were over there, you didn't know who the enemy was and who your friends were. They all, you know, you had the North Vietnamese, you knew them, but the Viet Cong were basically South Vietnamese who turned over to the North Korea side, North Vietnam side, and so you didn't know who to trust.
Yeah, that's the same thing in Korea, see, because the South and the North, you cannot cross the border. You know, you can't defect from the South and go to the North because of that wall that they have in between the South and the North.
So neither one can go either direction. I know that North Korea will not allow their citizens to go south.
Oh yeah.
And why somebody south
side, they stopped that. They used to do that before my time, but now you can't do that. They won't let you defect from the South and go to the North.
Okay.
Because
why some of them want to
because of the president that they have, and once he have his guidelines and put it out there, that we would not take any folks in, and basically that's the way it is.
Were you ever stationed up there at the border?
I pulled a tour of duty.
And I understand that it's very tense there.
Oh yeah,
very tense along that border.
Oh yeah, and you have to be on your P's and Q's, because anything can happen at any given time there.
Can you wave at the guys across the border? Are they that close?
Well, it's about, I say, probably from here to probably from front door.
Okay, so I didn't know. I didn't know how wide it was of that zone.
Oh yeah, the window there. Yeah,
it's not that far. That's not that far.
No, it's not that far. They can see you.
You can throw candy bars at each other.
They can see you, and you can see them, and you can throw your hand up, but they're so tense between the South and the North that they don't even, they don't do none of that. Throw their hands up and wave at you or whatever, because they're so tense there.
Well, I know they won't. I know they won't on the other side.
Yeah.
That wouldn't be, on the North Vietnam side. Now, what do you think about Dennis Rodman going over there trying to do a little détente information there, a little détente tour?
Well, Dennis is a wild individual.
You're stating the obvious.
Yeah, he's a wild individual, and why him trying to go over there, And one thing about the North Koreans, they're so set in their ways, and the president is so strong-headed.
Mm-hmm.
I believe that by him going over there, it's not going to do any good to me. That's just my personal opinion.
Right. Because
of the way that they are set in their ways, and there's no change in their mind. And once they got their mind set, to me, it's just a waste of time.
Yeah. I always wonder how North Korea makes their money. I mean, apparently they must export. They said they export whatever they make over there to China.
Yeah, China and all. You got to remember all those was within distance.
Yeah. Well, they always say that if China really wanted North Korea to do something, they could make them do it. Is that right?
I think they can have some influence. That's what I think. They have some type of influence.
I know my dad is a Charlie Herbert. He's a veteran of the Korean conflict, as they called it back then.
Right,
basically the war. But he was a veteran there. He was in the Air Force. He was a sergeant. He was stationed there in South Korea for a while. Then he was stationed in Japan. And but that was actually back during the war itself, when you had the Chinese and the North Koreans pushed down to almost Seoul, and then they had to push them back up. which was a very rough time at that time. And Casey, you were stationed in South Korea, a very interesting tour. It sounds like there. When you're not up there having to look, we're up there when you wasn't up there at the border. What does an average soldier do over there in a foreign country when there's not a conflict going on?
Well, basically, the soldiers we continue to train because we got to train because that's basically what we do. We continue to train and we continue to stay sharp in our skills of what we are learned to do. And then we also have, in order to pass some of the time that you're there, is that you get a chance to go to school.
Okay.
And further your education.
Okay.
You get a chance to mingle with the South Koreans and you get to know them because the South Koreans have what we call katusas. Katusas are Korean soldiers assigned with the United States Army. They work together side by side. Right. In other words, they do a lot of your translation for you. And a lot of times when you have Koreans or you run into Koreans, you have issues. Those guys translate the information from Korean to English so that you can understand. So we basically it's a training facility pretty much and education.
How did you find the opinions of the South Koreans toward American soldiers being there?
Now, the 3 times I've been there, they really, now, you got some, just like anywhere you go, you got some that just don't want the Americans there. But the times that I served there, we didn't have any feedback that much.
I think they would like us there for several reasons. One, of course, we're protecting them.
We did this
because without us there, North Korea
they probably be there too.
And the other thing is the economic benefit of it because you get paid, you go out there and you buy stuff locally there around South Korea.
And also you get a chance, like I said, you get a lot of people like to shop Korean because a lot of their clothes, shoes. Yeah. You get a chance to help put money back in their economy there as well. And like I say, the basic thing that we do, we train. We got to be sharp because we never know what's going to happen. So a lot of times you do a lot of training. And the same thing is statewide. We stations in the states, we do the same thing. We train. We go to different places for so many months and to stay sharp in our skills so we can be ready for anything that may happen.
So when a crisis happens, you don't have to think, you just do.
Yes, you know your job. Every man and every woman knows his or her job because it's instilled in them and they're at the top of their game. So
any other part of the country that you were stationed where there was maybe some tensions there other than South Korea, North Korea?
Well, when I went to Egypt was pretty much like Korean.
What years were you in Egypt, Ricky?
I was in 1884.
1884, okay.
1984. They don't know what I know.
1984, you were there.
Right, I was in Egypt.
Okay.
Cairo, Egypt. And it's similar to
well, that was 2 years after Saddam had been assassinated, so it was kind of...
well, he hadn't been assassinated yet.
Not yet. Not in 84.
They got it in 1991, first conflict.
91? Okay,
yeah,
I thought it was earlier than that.
First conflict we ever had in the South, in that southern country.
Okay. Now, where were you in Egypt? Where were you stationed in Egypt? What's the base there for?
We went there as a training, so we were right outside of Cairo.
Okay, right outside. You get to see the Great Pyramids?
You can't get a chance to tour as time permit, but most of the time you still again.
Right, but did you get to?
I didn't get a chance. I didn't get a chance.
Could you see them off on the horizon?
Well, you can see them from the horizon, but to get any closer, you have to. They have a lot of times we don't have time for a lot of touring.
Right.
We mostly there to train and to prepare ourselves for anything that may happen in the desert because that's what it is, the desert, so we can be prepared to fight in the desert because one thing about being over there is that when you get there, we get off the plane, we make sure all the shots is up and they give you a big bottle of water. Every individual got a big bottle of water because the humidity there is so hot. And
there's more humidity there than there is here in South Georgia?
Oh, it is.
Wow.
There's no shade like we have some places.
Yeah, shade here, no trees.
The shade that you may generate is from the setting up your tents and stuff like that. But for us, because you're out in the middle of the desert.
Yeah. Without the Nile running through Egypt, it would be just another desert.
That's all it would be. That's exactly what it would be. It would be dried up and be dusty and everything.
Okay. Well, we got Ricky Reddish in this morning. Ricky, tell folks who may not know you, what do you do here locally?
Well, since I retired from the military, I was a Georgia correction officer at Reedsville. I was a correction officer. And right now, I don't do anything. And as a lot of them can remember, I was also the city councilman for 20 years.
Yeah, you were a city councilman.
I was a city councilor here for 20 years as well. So I've been serving for a long time now, which I've served 20 years as city council, 22 years in military, and 21 years as American Legion. And I've just been promoted to the commander of the American Legion, Post 529. And so that's basically all I'll do. I try to belong with the American Legion and the church is where you can find me.
Right.
Doing those jobs. So make sure I do things around my church and keep things going.
Okay. Ricky Reddish in this morning, they've got a membership drive for the American Legion this Saturday. It's going to be held at Emory Chapel, United Methodist Church, located behind the post office here in Jessup on Pine Street. Big white church right there. It's white. Is that correct?
Correct.
Big white church behind the post office. It's from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. You don't have to be there at 10. You don't have to stay all the way at 2. It's just a drop in. They'll have hamburgers, hot dogs, and chips and drinks and stuff like that. And it's not a situation where you have to come commit. All you got to do is just come and talk and learn about the American Legion and how you can be part of the organization and help serve the veterans.
Correct. Because our motto is God and country. That's what the American Legion does, for God and country.
Okay.
So the basic thing, like you said, is just come out. You don't have to be committed to anything. Just come out and fellowship with us. Like I said, we're going to be there from 10 to 2. And we're going to be giving out some good information because a lot of folks don't know what the American Legion do. The American Legion lobby for a lot of the veterans in Atlanta. And not just Atlanta, but all around the world. The American Legion has a hand in trying to help the soldiers get more benefits, because we have paid some of them have paid the ultimate price, and some of them are left behind. Some of them have a lot of injury.
Yeah, a lot of injuries.
And a lot of benefit that they're not aware that they can get. So we want to try to share some of those information with them and some of the things that may help them along the way. And as you know, Butch, there's a lot of homeless veterans.
And that's a shame.
And I know, and that's definitely something that needs to be done. So if you're out there, please just come and fellowship with us, have a meal, and you may run into somebody that might have served where you serve or might have walked in your tracks or whatever. Just come on out and fellowship.
Sounds good. Ricky, we do appreciate you coming in this morning. Anything that we can do to help the American Legion, you just let us know and come back on the show or just give us some information, okay?
All right, Butch, I really appreciate you having me this morning. I thank y'all from the bottom of my heart.
Okay. Have a good day.
All
right. Ricky Reddish in this morning here from American Legion Post, 529 here in Jessup. WIFO 105.5 FM in Jessup. The time now is 8:35. We're going to check in the latest news from